Hello, everybody. This prize is the first time that it is being administered, and it is administered by the University of Auckland Department of Computer Science. And the speech that I'm going to read to you had to go through the HOD, the head of department, and our external relations manager, and some other people. So it's kind of boring, but I'm. So I'm going to put some humor into it. And the best thing is it's very short, and here it goes. This prize aims to recognize the New Zealand individual. It is not organization, so it's an individual nomination who has made the greatest contribution to the field of open systems, underline, in the past 2 years. Now, it's open systems because at the time that this prize was kind of has been set up, the head of the department and our celebrity professor John Hosking thought that you know, if we limit it to open source, we might not get enough traction and you know, nominations. So they wanted to make the scope broader. But as I see tonight, with so many different categories and so many nominations and so many brilliant projects, it should have been the opposite, because there has been no application that fall into the category of open systems. So what we refer by open systems is, it's a very old and boring term actually, again. The key thing is the interoperability of the systems using the open standards and with very well documented interfaces and functionalities. Not necessarily, but preferably open source. So this is kind of the key phrase there. I'd like to note that all of our finalists' works were open source, so there weren't any proprietary system involved. So this was, I think, fitting perfectly with the New Zealand Open Source Awards tonight. So the story behind I said short, it's finishing, don't worry. The story is kind of a very sad and touching story. John Bedogni and his wife Kenda have set up two endowment funds, 1.7 million New Zealand dollars in total, with the University of Auckland's Computer Science Department for the commemoration, that's one of the formal words, of their eldest son, Clinton Bedogni, who died in June in 2005. These two funds support both a research fellowship, which I currently sit in, and I'm the first one, proudly the first one. And the other one supports a biennial Clinton Bedogni Prize, which this one is the first one. So Clinton had a really deep passion in the open source operating system, Linux. And he was also had some capability. I don't know if you remember him from the discussion lists or any other source. He was quite enthusiastic folk about open source and Linux. So this prize is a fitting tribute to Clinton Bedogni, who died in a tragic traffic accident. Which he had a head-on collision with a drunk driver who crossed the median line in 2005. So, as I said, this is a sad story, but it has really wonderful outcomes. I think this prize and the fellowships, this will provide a huge boost for open systems and practically open source software in New Zealand. And I think $1.7 million is so significant that it is even a great you know, amount from a personal resource for open source and open systems. So we are hoping that this prize will raise the profile of open systems and open source in New Zealand, and praise these brilliant, all of you guys, these Kiwi minds, and all for a better future. And lastly, I'd like to thank to the organizers of this event and many others who really was very helpful and to get the first prize into this venue. We are so thankful. And to all of you. So I hope this was short. For some reason, Mark, the MC, will do the announcements, the finalists, and then I will hand over the 10,000 cash prize to the winner. Now, that's the best part.
We have 3 finalists. The first is Francois Marier. Francois has been involved in open source communities for more than 10 years. He's currently a senior software developer at Catalyst IT, a long-time Debian developer, and has worked on commercial open source projects for most of his professional career. Francois enjoys introducing people to the ideas behind open source and discussing the intricacies of open source licenses. One of his most recent contributions to the New Zealand open source community was linux.conf.au 2010. He sat on the organising committee of the successful technical conference which brought almost 600 delegates to Wellington. Big round of applause, please. Robert O'Callaghan has been a contributor to the Mozilla project for over 10 years. He worked as a volunteer for 5 years, then full-time, first for Novell, and then for the Mozilla Corporation. He established Mozilla's Auckland Development Office, which currently hosts 6 full-time employees. Rob has made major contributions to the design and implementation of the Gecko engine, which powers Firefox. He contributes to the development of web standards such as HTML5 and CSS3. He manages the worldwide Gecko layout team and mentors volunteers contributing to the project. Big hand for Robert, please. As you heard earlier, Mark Osborne has been the driving force behind the Open Source School Initiative at Albany Senior High School and the remarkable contributions to the open source world that he has made are worthy and commendable. And yeah, that's Mark. Thank you very much. And here we go.
And the winner is open source in New Zealand. Well, Robert O'Callaghan.
I'm actually quite shocked, so I didn't really prepare much to say, but in fact, I'm actually really shocked that I get paid to work on open source at all. I mean, I think it's a huge privilege. I love making software. I'm amazed people pay me to do it, and I'm especially amazed that they pay me to do it and I can give it away to the world for free for anyone to build on. So I think for everyone in this room who gets to do that, I think we should count our blessings. So thank you. And I'm especially amazed that you can even get a prize for this. So thank you. Thanks even more for that. In terms of people I'd like to thank, I'd especially like to thank my wife over there. As you heard, for 5 years I was hacking on Firefox at night, when I probably should have spent more time with Janet. So for all the partners and family members of open source contributors in this room, thank you very much.
Thanks, Robert.
Well, I think it's not a custom here, but we have very fancy certificates for the other finalists. So I'd like to present it to Francois and Mark Osborne.